And here is the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday. It's the 4th of February, 2020. It's the birthday of Charles A. Lindbergh, born in Detroit, 1902, who in 1927 became the first man to fly solo nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean, New York to Paris. It's the birthday in London, 1916, of the poet Gavin Ewart, author of many books of poetry, started writing poetry early when he was just 17, and then when World War II broke out, he stopped for about 20 years. His collection Londoners came out in 1964. Gavin Ewart, who wrote, "For nursery days are gone, nightmare is real, and there are no god fairies. The fox's teeth are in the bunny, and nothing can remove them, honey." It's the birthday of the novelist and short story writer Robert Hoover, born Charles City, Iowa, in 1932, whose first novel was The Origin of the Brunists, 1966, about the lone survivor of a mining accident, goes on to start a religious cult. Robert Hoover, who said he writes because art blows life into the lifeless, death into the deathless, author of the Universal Baseball Association Incorporated, The Public Burning, and A Child Again. It was on this day, 1789, the Electoral College unanimously elected George Washington, the first president of the United States. It's the birthday of the novelist McKinley Cantor, born in Webster City, Iowa, 1904. Wrote a number of Civil War novels, including Andersonville, which he spent 25 years researching before it came out in 1955, about the Confederate prison camp where 50,000 Union soldiers died. It's the birthday of the writer Stuart Onan, born in Pittsburgh, 1961, worked as an aerospace engineer for years, and in the evenings went down to his basement to write. Published his first novel, Snow Angels, in 1994, about a murder in a small town in western Pennsylvania. Stuart Onan, who said, "My own life isn't terribly interesting, even to myself, and that is why I write about people and places so different from the ones I know." It's the birthday of Betty Friedan, born Peoria, Illinois, 1921. Smart, loud in high school, not conventionally pretty, so she was not so popular. Went off to Smith College, an all-girls school. Loved it there, graduated with high honors. And then she got married. She had kids. She became a suburban housewife. She went to her 15-year reunion at Smith and conducted a survey to find out if her classmates were happy, satisfied with their lives, which she discovered most women were not. And she decided to write a book about it. She wrote about the myth that women were expected to find fulfillment in lives of domesticity and lives as mothers and wives. And she coined a name for that myth, which was the title of her book, The Feminine Mystique. Came out in 1963, a huge bestseller, and kicked off what was called the second wave of feminism, women's suffrage being the first. Here's a poem for today, a poem by an English poet of the early 1800s, John Clare. I loved her lip, her cheek, her eye. She cheered my midnight gloom, a bonny rose 'neath God's own sky, in one perennial bloom. She lives mid pastures evergreen and meadows ever fair, each winter, spring, and summer seen, the sweetest woman there. She lives among the meadow floods that foams and roars away, while fading hedgerows, distant woods fade off to naked spray. She lives to cherish and delight all nature with her face. She brought me joy morn, noon, and night in that low, lonely place. From a poem by John Clare. And that's the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday, February the 4th. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.